So my name's Carol. I'm a registered nurse. I started my nursing career when I was 16 years old, so a little while ago now. And I've been through various different roles. The majority of my time has been spent in primary care, working in general practice. I moved from general practice in 2016, and I now hold a number of different roles. So I work at our Integrated Care Board on the Respiratory Clinical Programme Board. I am the Children and Young People's Asthma Lead for the county. And I've got a Southwest role as well. So I'm one of the NHS England Respiratory Network co-clinical leads for the Southwest. And then on top of that, I also do a lot of work with the Primary Care Respiratory Society. And my current role there is that I'm policy lead. I've got a couple of national roles as well. So I co-chair the Early and Accurate Diagnosis Working Group for the Task Force for Lung Health. And I'm currently doing some work with NHS England as well. So as I say, I'm a registered nurse, but my specialism and my interests lie within respiratory medicine. So it started when I did an asthma diploma. I think that was in 1990, so a long time ago now. I've since done a master's in respiratory care. And when I was in general practice, I did more broad work. But since I've left general practice particularly, my interest has been mostly in respiratory long-term conditions. So in particular, asthma and COPD, although I do some work with lung cancer as well. And my interest really is around improving standards and improving the care that we deliver to our patients. So I've been a user and quite passionate about FeNO for a number of years now. My interest started back in 2006 when I was involved in a research project where we were looking at the feasibility and acceptability of using FeNO in primary care. And that was published in the Primary Care Respiratory Journal in 2007. And really since then, FeNO's always been one of the tools that I've had at my disposal in my clinical role. So in primary care, I was using it for my patients within my patient cohort. I then moved into a specialist clinic where anybody from primary care could refer a patient to me for a sort of package of care that included FeNO. And since then, what we've managed to do is we've managed to roll out FeNO across every practice within our ICB, which is quite some achievement. And part of that was because we had a successful accelerated access collaborative project that allowed us to do it in one locality. So I feel like I've been talking about this for a really long time, but I feel now people are really interested and really listening. So I think there are quite a few things I like about NObreath. I really like the fact that it's a very visual device to use. Personally, I find it very intuitive. I find it really easy for the user and for the patient. So it's not one of these complicated devices that tends to make you get things wrong. It really helps you to get things right, which I think is absolutely fantastic. To me, this seems like a sort of a no-brainer, really. We know that the key to asthma is inflammation, but it tends to be that hidden aspect. It tends to be the bit we don't measure, that we can't get to grips with. We know it's there, but we don't do much about it. And to me, to be able to demonstrate inflammation in the airways in asthma is absolutely key for a number of things. It's key when we're making the diagnosis of asthma to get that right. It's absolutely key when we're trying to explain to patients what's going on in their chest, what asthma is, how their inhalers work. It really gives them that light bulb moment so they can sort of go, I get it. That also works in adherence. So it's a good tool to help detect non-adherence and to start that conversation with patients. But again, it really helps patients to understand they get it. When they can physically see that inflammation, they get it. And I think it's quite a broad tool. I think we can use it in quite a number of contexts. I think we concentrate on diagnosis because that's probably where cough makes us look. But as I say, patient education, adherence, and also when we're thinking about titrating doses up or down, it isn't the only thing we need to do, but it's a really useful addition to the things that we can help make those decisions and help reassure patients that we're doing the right thing. And then I think the other thing is cost is always the issue. Cost is always the thing that people will question. But we have to bear in mind, FeNO is NICE approved, which means that it is being determined cost effective. And I think that has to be key when we're making the decisions around where we spend money, where we buy equipment and the services that we provide.